bad, she 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 bad. Gucci bag, Gucci bag, Gucci bag, Fendi bag, Prada bag, Louis bag, Gucci bag, Birkin bag. She in a bag, she drip, she swag, never mad, she glad.
Hey y'all, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Red Couch Conversations. I am your host, the Bald Head Truth. Not like y'all didn't know that, but I am here with my friend Nikias.
Yes.
Y'all, so listen, it's very few people that I meet here in Dallas that I consider a friend, and we just happen to be coworkers as well as friends. You know what I'm saying? Our friendship is new. Mm-hmm. So you still on your probationary period.
Yeah, I realize that. Black woman standard.
Yes. So, we be talking about different things, and we have brief encounters when we be at work or whatever. And I just realized that we be having some real ass conversations.
Yeah.
And so,
real environment.
Right. So it's like I invited him to come on to the show, and I am very honored that that you took the time to come on here, because a lot of times, like I said, some people don't really understand my passion, and I be like looking at it like it's no different than if you was on Ricky Smiley's show. You know what I'm saying? So
a lot of people outside.
Right. So it's like, I'm very passionate about my podcast, and when I see or be around somebody that I feel has like depth to their conversation, or something that I feel like the world needs to know, you know what I'm saying? I be feeling like, hey, let's not even have this conversation right now. Let's get behind the mic and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very honored that you came on Red Couch Conversations, where we be having serious conversations, and my opinion is not always popular opinion, but it is my truth.
Your truth.
Yes, absolutely. So first of all, let's how's your week been going? How was last week for you?
I mean, it was cool. It was trying. I mean, you know what we do.
Yeah.
So we are in what's considered one of the top 10 most dangerous professions.
Absolutely.
Because of what we encounter every day. We on that road with different driving styles, different mentalities.
Absolutely.
Some individuals patient and impatient. Mm-hmm. We overcome a lot of obstacles like traffic.
Yeah.
I mean, just we in Dallas all of a sudden.
And you know what? One of the things that I was I've been in Dallas since 2017, and right. So one of the things that I had to choose between moving to Houston and moving to Dallas, and I was like, well, I know that both of the traffic is bad, but I
two
think
snakes on the same, two fangs on the same snake.
Right. So I'm just like, I thought I was choosing like the lesser evil. So
you did
when I chose Dallas, and it's so crazy because I be meeting people and they be saying, as a single woman, they're like, you should have chose Houston. Like, I'm like, I can't deal with that Houston traffic.
Let me tell you something about Houston, man. Anytime you have a tollway that's crowded every morning, what is the use of it being a tollway? You basically paying
to be in traffic.
The goal of using the toll is to avoid the traffic. Man, it's ridiculous. I hate driving up there unless it's anytime after 11 p.m. Anytime between 11 and maybe 5 in the morning, you pretty much good in Houston. But after that, you're going to encounter traffic.
Houston is something else, but I like to go down there and hang out or whatever. And my thing is, the decision for moving to Houston, it was, I don't hang out enough for that to be a big decision. Like, well, I go here and they got more things happening there. It's more for a single person, because I'm really like a laid back person. Yeah, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you this. One of the things that I heard about Houston is they say that, well, my friends that have moved to Houston, they be like, it's just like Detroit. I moved away from Detroit. I don't want to live in Detroit anymore. Like, I don't want to go from Detroit. I packed up all my stuff to move down here to a whole nother Detroit. If that's the case, I would have stayed in Detroit with my friends and my family and where I'm comfortable at. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I say this as far as my observations from Detroit, because I've been going to Detroit since I was a little boy. I have family in Warren, and and I have family in the Detroit area, like close to the Puritan Parkway area. Detroit is still it's never recovered from the so-called riots. It never did. You know what I mean? From the burning down, the looting, the protesting, it never recovered.
And what's crazy to me is that when you see cities like that, I feel like a lot of times they don't the cities don't recover when the natives don't have pride. But I can say one thing about Detroit.
It's resilient.
I can talk stuff about Detroit all day, but at the end of the day, people in Detroit got pride.
Oh, yeah.
So we love Detroit.
Oh, you better believe
we represent the D no matter where we are.
Shouts out to my cousin,
yes,
the Coleys, Karen, Erica Coley, Daryl, Lil Daryl, Ashley, my Aunt Grace, all of them. My cousin Karen is a Detroit advocate. She will tell you all day.
I love Detroit.
White Castle. Right, what she say? White Castle fries come in only one side. You know what I'm saying? You see Coney's all over the place, but
Coney Island is on every corner.
Yeah, but she took me to Belle Isle.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like
Windsor Tunnel.
It's like Coney Islands are on every corner. Like, and I feel like that's like, you know, they say when people ask me like, what's the signature food from Detroit? I always tell them corned beef sandwiches.
Yeah,
and like how people here eat brisket, that's how we eat corned beef. Like, people in Detroit really don't eat brisket. Like, and then people down here don't, because I go to the market here to get a corned beef. It be so tiny. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what am I going to do with this? Like, and it only have like 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? I've even had somebody say, what is, I took some corned beef to work. I had cooked, and I took some corned beef to work, and they was like, what is this? I was like, pork. Yeah. I mean, what you gonna say? What is corned beef? Okay, why would you even ask me what it is? It's
not
beef.
To mention that, you know, Detroit has been heavily outsourced. You know, like Michael Moore mentioned, and what was it? Was it Roger? It was either Roger and me. Yeah, where he focused on how all the outsourcing removed a lot of beneficial jobs to families in Detroit.
Yeah, because a lot of people migrated from the South because of the auto industry.
My family.
Yeah, my dad, my mother and father too. You know, it was like I was very blessed to grow up and have 2 parents that had really good jobs. My mother worked at General Motors, where she retired from, and my father, he worked at Chrysler, which he retired from. Well, it was like in Detroit, it was one of the places, you know, we had Motown and stuff like that. So black people in Detroit was like moving and shaking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My father, he not only did he work at Chrysler, but he owned Shell gas stations, and he also owned trucks. That's how I got into the trucking business.
Then up in Detroit, y'all got the great Jay Dilla, man. James Yancey, rest in peace, James Yancey, Jay Dilla, man.
The music guy.
Man.
My cousin got a baby by him.
Hey man, bro, I got so much of his music.
My cousin, she ended up having a child by Jay Dilla, and she they had all Jay Dilla is like a really big. I remember when she was I don't even think that she was really dating him, if you want to be honest, but it just happened. And I remember when she was saying that she was dating or kicking it with a music producer or whatever, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then kind of found out it was Jay Dilla. That was funny. Oh, yeah. But yeah, she had a baby with that dude. Yeah. But anyway, so you know, everybody, you know, when I come on the show, I always talk about or try to inform y'all about stuff that's going on in the Black community or whatever, what's current events and everything like that. So today, my current event is, I talked about it on Breezy Show the other day, if y'all caught that, but my current event is basically talking about the 4 people that went to Mexico.
Oh,
and they end up getting killed. Now I thought
it was a 5th. Didn't they say it was another person?
But she didn't go to she didn't actually go to Mexico with them. She stayed in Brownsville, Texas at the hotel because she didn't have ID to go across. So look at God. Okay, I'm gonna say that again.
I'll say this. What was their intent? Were they vacation? I heard one of them was supposed to have been trying to get
what's so sketchy about the whole situation.
They say one of them was supposed to have been going to get some type of enhancements to her body.
But she was supposed to have been going to get a tummy tuck. But like me and Breezy, we was talking about it the other day. The doctor said that he wasn't even open on Friday. So I just feel like this story is getting a little, it's like a little sketchy. One of the guys who got killed, his wife didn't even know that he was over there. He said that he was going somewhere to help some friends. And to me, I feel like when you say, like, I done dealt with dudes that's in the street before. And one of the things that I know from dealing with a dude that's in the street, I don't need to give you too much information, because if somebody come and ask you something, they would tell me that. If somebody come and ask you something, you don't know, and I don't want you to be involved in it. And I used to be okay with that.
That's why most dudes, that's hustling out here, they try to keep the woman out of it, and the less that they tell,
out of it.
The less they can really inform the authorities, unless you're gonna sit up here and lie.
Yeah, because
when I tell you information, you are now vested with that information. So you have a moral compass in you to where, okay, am I gonna lie for the sake of this dude, or am I gonna tell the truth because of morals? So just to avoid all that, look here, the least that you know, the better for you. That's an act of selflessness as opposed to selfishness.
So one of the things that is like the developments in that story is, okay, so it was 5 of them. They came from North Carolina. 4 of them went to Mexico. 2 of them were killed. 1 of them was shot 3 times in his legs, which translates to me as like a torture situation. And the young lady, I don't think that she was touched. Okay. Now, the story goes on and everything, the United States rushed this house that they were being held in, and it was one guy who was standing guard. So they arrested him. That was the guy that was standing guard. Then later on, the Mexican cartel, quote unquote, has sent over 5 individuals that they said that was responsible for the kidnapping, as well as, get this, a letter from the Mexican cartel saying that they apologized for what's going on.
None of that sounds like it makes sense anyway. I mean, you have to understand, we are indoctrinated every day by the media, whether it be CNN, MSNBC, ABC, who are all them alphabet companies that's pretty much owned by the same entities. And they pretty much dictate what they want you to know.
Yes, absolutely.
It's the greatest, story ever told in increments.
Right.
So you're going to be fed these things on a daily basis to form your opinion. It goes back to the old joke that says, when I want your opinion, I give it to you.
Right. And you know what? And I'm telling you, and that just goes to show, like, I was talking back when I was in my first year in college, I think it was. A friend of mine was involved in a crime that was a very high profile case in Detroit. And, I wasn't there when the actual crime took place, but I was there leading up to the crime taking place. And the way that the media got a hold to it, and the way they made the story, like my friend, when they gave him, like, after he had been sentenced and everything, and he came out of court, because I watched it was all on Court TV and everything. And when he came out of court, the media asked him for, if he had anything to say. And one of the things he said was, the media convicted me. He was like, they convicted me. And it was like, I knew that it was going to be bad, because what the situation was, one of my friends, he was on Belle Isle. And, Belle Isle is a summertime hangout.
It's the joint about now.
Right. It's a summertime hangout for people. And he actually was
in Canada all day.
A girl that was out there had hit his car. And she took off after she hit his car. And so he chased her down, and, she was suicidal. She had been to the hospital the day before. She had went to Belle Isle to clear her mind, is what they said. But, when he chased her down, she got out of the car and she went on the rail of the bridge, and the crowd was like, jump, 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 jump. And then he came through the crowd, and he took a crowbar, and he was like beating her car, because he like, well, you did this to my car, so I'm about to do this to your car type deal. And then when he was coming toward her, she let go of the bridge, and she jumped she jumped into the Detroit River. So what he was convicted of is that they say because of the fear that he invoked in her is what caused her to jump into the water.
So it was psychological.
Yes, that's what they said. But it was really, upsetting to me is that, all these people that worked at the hospital they testified on his behalf saying that she had just been under a hole for having suicidal tendencies. You know what I'm saying? And that was part of the way that they identified her, because she had been stabbing herself in the legs. So they identified her by the stitches and stuff like that were in her legs from, this situation. But it's just unfortunate that, like I said, the media can have such a strong bearing on what's interpreted. Like, we look at the TV and that's what we get out of.
Well, what you need to know is the television, and now you can say the internet, whether it be, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. All of these things are what you would consider the greatest indoctrination tools ever created. From its essence, that's what television was ultimately created for, outside of just small entertainment. It's a tool of indoctrination, because when people look at that medium, that device, whatever you want to call it, they see something larger than themselves. So that's why on a daily basis, we out here, we're emulating what we see on television. We emulating what we see on Instagram. We emulate what we see on YouTube, because it's larger than us. Because you got to understand, attention today is a more potent currency than the euro or the Federal Reserve note known as a dollar. Attention is the number one currency now, and people will lose everything.
Just for some attention,
just for 15 seconds to 15 minutes of fame. But that's what it was diabolically designed for.
And what's so crazy to me is that the information that people rather take in is not educational information. Like, they don't want to, like I do this podcast week after week after week. If I know that when I used to do the podcast and everything, how many minutes we in now, Breezy? Can I let go? When I used to do the podcast and I was always talking about dick and pussy, you know what I'm saying? My views would be up, like everybody want to tune in. But then when I started incorporating, like, okay, y'all, I got y'all attention. Now I want to let y'all know that y'all need to get out and vote. Y'all need to make sure that this is not going on. This is what the government is trying to do. While I got y'all attention, let me take y'all there real quick, and then we're gonna come and circle on back to the nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Well, you can tell the difference. People don't want to hear about the facts. They want me. If I was up here, if I jump up right now and start twerking, oh my goodness, it'll have 55 shares.
Because all publicity is good publicity. You live in a society where everything is reversed, and the powers that be are not concerned with the welfare of society. Matter of fact, it profits more from a more degenerative society.
Yes. So my friend said attention. My girl Nikki Sell Black out of Detroit, Nails by Black, y'all. She said attention is the new drug.
Yeah, it's very much. It's a very potent drug. People need it because their relevancy lies in how you see them. So look at the common relationship today. Okay, I'm gonna leave every number on a base 10. Let's say you got 500 followers, right? All right, you're a woman. You're in a relationship with a dude, right? So depending upon where your mind state is, you say 500.
Wait a minute. I got 5,000 followers.
Okay, well let's go with 5,000 followers in, because once again that's still on the base 10. So you got 5,000 followers, right? Depending upon what sex you are, say you coming from the female perspective, you're gonna say at least 3,500 of those are men, right? So you getting into it with your significant other. You know, you don't really have a serious desire to be in that relationship because you know that 3,500 are possibilities. So you're looking at him like, okay, you see this right here? I got, out of this 5,000 followers, I got 3,500 of them. 3,500 of them are men. I know out of these 3,500, at least 3,000 are willing to get down if I respond to them in a DM. So why am I worried about hanging on to you anymore? So now a relationship's bottom is more subject to fall out quicker today because you got so many different individuals, whereas one time You had to actually go out and earn those individuals prior to.
But let me tell you this though, and that is so true. What you're talking about, that is so true. Like your reach has expanded because of social media.
So therein lies the diabolical nature of social media versus the possibility of garnering more business. Or,
but you know what? I'm gonna tell you this though.
Word.
Before we move on, my thing is that what's crazy about it to me is that what people don't realize is that social media is not real.
It's an illusion.
It's like when you go to a new school.
It's an illusion.
You can form the person who you are. You can tell them. It's all smoke and mirrors, and people don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? It be some people you see them on social media. Like, I'm gonna take myself for example. I tell people all the
Greatest
time.
testimony.
Right. I tell people all the time, it's a difference between LaToya in real life. I just told a dude that the other day, and it's the difference between bald head. Like when I'm bald head, I'm on here and I'm trying to say things for the shock value. I say things that people that you wouldn't normally say.
Well, it's an alter ego.
But me, myself, LaToya, I am the type of person that you see in those meetings.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I talk, right. When I come to those meetings, or when I be out there talking or whatever, I demand respect when I'm in a room. You know what I'm saying?
You got to. You're in a room full of men.
Exactly. And I'm telling y'all, the first time when we first came to know one another, we were in meetings, and I was like, I am the only woman that works there.
But you was the only one really voicing something. You know, these so-called Negroes. So lame today. I mean, we love they got so much to say, but it's gonna be said out on the warehouse.
Yeah.
Well, if like the last independent contract meeting we had, I let them have it because I'm like, look, we don't feel like independent contractors.
No.
Our pay don't reflect us going out and buying.
We need to talk about that at the meeting.
But I'm looking at the rest of them. Maybe out of 20 of them. Maybe one or two said something, but all of them, the rest of them sitting back there feeble-minded like Negroes on a plantation.
And the thing about it is that we're gonna go on because my thing is, like I said, it's two different people with me, with people that what I portray on social media and then what I portray in business. But when you're in a business and you are like ourselves, being independent contractors, you don't lead your conversation with, well, first of all, I need my job. You know what I'm saying? Because that translates to whatever I say is going to happen because I'm responsible for paying your bills. So therefore, people don't listen anymore.
Or understand that this is an adhesion contract, which in insurance terms, this is a take it or leave it contract.
Absolutely.
So if you don't want this, okay, it's a revolving door. Or you can look at it as recidivism.
Yeah.
You may can come back if you're gonna come back on my terms.
Absolutely, but they're not gonna budge. But yeah, the thing about it is that what people need to understand is like girls are meet guys. Because I'm speaking from a woman's point of view. And I'm sure it happens on the male point of view too. But women will meet men on social media and they be believing all that shit. Like, I am deep into the bike world, okay? I go out and I MC and I be around and everything. And I be seeing these dudes, they be having bikes that be costing thousands and thousands of dollars. They'll spend thousands on a pipe. They'll spend thousands on some rims and then be at home trying to make arrangements on their bills. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Because
or taking care of their kids. Right. They kids be talking about, they got this going on and they not being present with that. But as long as that image that they on social media, because they be feeling it's like reality TV on a smaller scale.
Because the fake image becomes more prominent, but all of that is relegated to a mind state.
Yeah, it is. And the thing about it is, it's very like depressing, or I ain't gonna say depressing because it's not depressing, but it's very discouraging. It's discouraging to me as a woman because now I know who I see on social media, but now I need to figure out who you are, and I have to erase everything that I see on social media, or either pick through it like you pick it through a basket of clothes. You know what I'm saying? And trying to find the right outfit of who you are, because these dudes are, and women too. Don't get me wrong, because I know Me, myself, I get an angle on your ass quick because I don't want you to see this stomach. Because I don't want you to understand that I got just as much stomach as I do ass. You understand what I'm saying? So it's all smoke and mirrors. People are not their authentic selves when they have an opportunity to be something other than that on social media.
So it's all about how you use the tool.
Yeah, but anyway, we're gonna take a brief little commercial break and we're gonna come back. All right, make sure that y'all stay tuned. Make sure y'all sharing right now. If you are on if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, go to Simply the Bald Hair Truth and subscribe. Share right now, and we'll be right back. All right.
You got 100 points.
Have you been moisturizing?
Just sunscreen.
That's 50 points.
With AARP rewards, anyone can earn points.
Who's got 200 points?
You've got 200 points.
It's the free loyalty program that rewards you.
They're ready for you.
That's 300 points.
And helps your money, health, and happiness live longer.
Are these ties? 200 points.
Start earning and redeeming points today.
At Sleep Number, we know science proves your best sleep is vital to your mental, emotional, and physical health. The new Sleep Number Climate 360 Smart Bed is the only smart bed in the world that actively cools and warms, giving you both optimum sleeping temperatures. It senses your movements and automatically adjusts to help keep you both effortlessly comfortable. And our smart sleepers get 28 minutes more restful sleep per night. Proven quality sleep. Visit sleepnumber.com to learn more.
Let's take a little test together. Which looks better, this or this? This or this? Seems clear to me. Saving cash beats spending it unwisely every time, which is why you'll love this offer from America's Best. Buy 2 pairs of glasses for just $79.95, and they'll throw in an eye exam for free. It's a savings of at least $59. That's not just a better deal, it's America's Best. Book an exam online today.
Follow my lead. So yeah, we're back. I hope you guys did what I asked y'all to do and shared my shit, okay? Like Carla Washington say, share my shit. And while I'm talking about that right now, Carla Washington is one of my good girlfriends. I be calling her my manager. She got a cruise that is going to be in January of next year. Make sure that y'all call her and get in contact with her and book y'all cruise. I'm telling you, when I tell you we had a time last January, honey. We all seen the video when they had me turned upside down. Oh my God, I had such a good time. And y'all make sure that y'all get with Carla Washington and y'all book y'all cruise. We are going to be cruising with Carla and of Carla Creation. So y'all make sure that y'all check that out. But anyway, before the break, we were talking about social media. So we were talking about how people will actually like put a whole image up. You know what I'm saying? And they will have you believing that their life is one way and it actually be like totally different. Like, I mean, I
got an example for you. Think about some of the gals on social media that be taking pictures in a lot of those different exotic places. You know, they be in a real expensive looking penthouse or a real expensive apartment. Man, they are on a tricking mission.
Yeah,
they are. They fronting like that's their apartment
right,
or that's where they live. But man, that dude from Saudi Arabia or that dude from somewhere in Southwest Asia, not the Middle East. I'm always about correction. Southwest Asia, man, that dude done paid her about 50 G's for her to come perform some lewd act, and she's stunting in the apartment based on what he's seen on social media. She bad, you know. She got the picture, you know, the common picture of a lot of women that's pretty much out here bopping today is you're gonna see the face and you're gonna see the behind. So she always got to be face.
Yes,
so see the face and the behind.
Yes,
so basically, really, they should be just walking like that,
right?
Because that's
what you give.
That's her focus. So black women. I'm not gonna relegate it to black women because black women been
about it.
No. Listen.
That's the truth.
This is what I'm saying.
Concerned about no other race.
I'm just talking about ours, but
better.
But I would be unfair just to put that solely on our women because all women are doing it now. Because I mean, you understand, black woman, she is the epitome. So the rest of society capitalizes off her image, and the rest of society also emulates that. You got to see this.
Yes.
Okay, you got the tracks. Mm-hmm. So white folk, and understand this is not about being so-called racist.
No, hold on, wait. Let me say this. Let me say this. Our show is not. It is nothing wrong with being for our race.
But
so
we're
not against nobody else's. Okay,
it's not about that, right?
We can't be racist.
So,
it's impossible.
But the focus is on ours, because like Brother Malcolm always said, we got to focus on our community first.
Absolutely.
So I say this: white folk and every other ethnic makeup, they can behave like us, but when they're done, they still have the comforts of their society that they can always back up on. So when they emulating us, they're doing that just to be kicking it. But see, we are being ourselves because that's all we have.
Listen,
they just having fun. That's it.
I was just looking on social media the other day, and it was a story about these rappers in Miami. They had dunks, right?
Yeah.
And so this guy came up to them, a white guy, and he was like, "Hey, it would be really cool if you guys let me just get in the car with you and let my wife like get some cool video." And he was
creating an image.
Yeah, he was in the back seat, and he was like doing this, and the motherfucker was like moving around. It looked like he was having a seizure or whatever, but it was so called dancing for him. And all other people in the comments, like, because I immediately went to the comments because I wanted to I wanted to see what our black people thought of him imitating what it's just like when you see like gay people, you know what I'm saying? When you see gay people, like you see a feminine man, this is what his perception of what it is to be a woman. This is how he's conducting.
And it's over-exaggerated.
So sometimes it's over-exaggerated.
Very over-exaggerated.
But just say, for instance, when I see like white people or other ethnic backgrounds that be pretending to be black, I'm gonna say it. Right. They be over exaggerate. They be,
that's to push
all
the issue.
Hand gestures. But like you said, they will love. Everybody in those comments was just loving it. They was eating it up, and I'm like, are you
the illusion?
But are you so? To me, I felt like, are you so? Your mind, you want to be accepted so bad that you are like, yeah, do it, you do it.
The illusion is larger than life.
Like, we are great already. We don't need anybody to imitate us.
Exactly.
I already feel like a lot of situations, like I'm gonna tell you the honest to God truth. I just left going to a med spa here in Dallas. I went there to get a facial yesterday, and I did a follow-up. I ain't gonna tell you what I wouldn't follow up for, but anyway, I did a follow-up today. And it was people in there that were getting their lips done. Yeah. They were getting their jawlines done. Like, I went out yesterday with my girls, and it was like, you know, they getting their butts done, they getting their hips done, all of that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Natural. And it's like, y'all really like us, don't y'all? Just admit it. Just go ahead and admit it.
No. You the one late.
Right.
You the one late. They've been telling you they love you, but what they do is what we don't do. We don't capitalize off ourselves. They gonna capitalize off you. Like I say, black women are no longer about or in their bodies. They are about their bodies now, and they gonna capitalize it and capitalize on it in some lewd way.
Yeah,
it's never gonna be something that's counterproductive. Because see, black woman, when she walk in the room, her presence demands respect.
Absolutely.
I mean, in a corporate setting, the way she dressed, she is just silhouetted. You know what I'm saying? In whatever she were. So every man in there is going to pay attention to her. But she was still going to be on a more reduced level. But she is really more powerful than them. You have to understand, all of us come from a black woman, according to European archaeologists, Maeve and Louis Leakey. Leakey. The woman name was commonly called Lucy, but it's really Australopithecus armenius, which is supposed to be the first and the oldest carbon-dated human remains. So
Lucy,
black woman gave birth to this world. So why isn't, she, well, let me rephrase that. Why wouldn't she be as prominent as she is? She's supposed to look the way she is. She's supposed to be intelligent.
It's so funny to me when you see like people that be on like you know how you look on social media sometimes, and these teachers will be at school and they'll say, do you think this is appropriate for a teacher to wear this, or do you think this? And you'll see like, in the comments people be like, no, she should not wear that. It's not appropriate. I can't hide my curves, honey.
You can't help it. That's how you was
because
born.
like today, I got this blaze wrong, but this mug is flaring up in the back like a peacock. You understand me?
Think about
I can't hide what I got.
Think about
I can't hide it.
You seen that volleyball player, that female volleyball player thinking all that controversy?
Yes.
She can't help that. And
can't
hold on,
help
that's
blame
the gear.
My mama. Okay.
That's the gear that was standard for it. Now all of a sudden she come into the volleyball world because she's a voluptuous black woman. Now it's a problem, just like Venus and Serena. Well, more Serena, but you ought to understand. You all had these standards before they came in. They just came and fit your standard. And what it is, she has the physical to captivate your husband.
Yes.
Because see, now we going back to the pre and postbellum period of slavery, where Massa left his plantation house and came down the slave quarter for that black woman that even in her most decrepit state was bad enough to get his attention, hence Sally Heming.
Right, to come down to the house. But okay, look, let me go to the comments 1 minute. It says, we automatically demand attention when we walk into the room without saying nothing.
Exactly, that's what I said.
Yeah, and it's like, the thing about it is like when I was waiting for you to finish what you were saying, but you hit right on what I was saying. Like even back in the day when they would wear the petticoats up under their jeans to make their butts like stick out. We didn't have to do all that.
We didn't have to do that
because our hips and everything. I mean, it's been from, even if they want to say, the other races want to say that they were not emulating or imitating the black woman, they knew that it was fine. When they had those dresses that sucked you in here and had the things, the over exaggerated hips and the over exaggerated butt, that's things that we have naturally.
Yeah, I mean, look at Josephine Baker, look at Sarah Bartman. Our women, I mean, it don't matter what era you look at our women have always been beautiful. Yeah. Look at Queen Makeda of Ethiopia.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you this though. I'm gonna give a shout out real quick because I know my girl be on here watching whatever. My girl Lincoln James. Now Lincoln James is a white girl, but she cute. And she fine. I'm gonna say it.
Look at Jenna.
Yeah, my girl Lincoln. She one of us. She's invited to the barbecue. Okay, I'm gonna say that, Lincoln. I love you, baby. You are definitely invited to the barbecue. Lincoln, you can't lose with the stuff she used. She is a sweet girl. And she.
Okay, for every one of them, it's still about 50 to 60 of us. And look at the black man. I mean, you can see throughout society, they have always lusted for us because they used to, when I was locked up, the whites and the Mexicans, they used to always say, man, we work out 6 months to try to just barely look decent. Yeah. Y'all go out there and do 20 push-ups and automatically build up.
Ain't that something?
Because that's genetic.
Genetics make up, absolutely.
I mean, we ain't got nothing to do with it. We didn't create ourselves. Something other than us created us. So you fall into the deck of cards that you play with, metaphorically speaking.
So let me say this. So you obviously you love the black woman, obviously.
Okay. Yeah, my lady, I mean, I'm gonna say it like this. My lady caught my attention off of how beautiful she was. So before it could manifested into something where, okay, I'm getting to know this woman, for what she do, for how she treat me, for her conversation, all of these different things. It was a physical thing off the top. I tell her all the time, I was getting ready to leave when you pulled up.
Okay, then.
Shoot, I seen you. Oh, hold on. Wait. Me and the homies over there. Hold on. Who is that?
Right. Now that's
she say I bum rushed her like, I'm Chuck D or something, but it wasn't so much as that. But I wasn't even trying to come at her. Like I tell all the time, I came to her like, I know you from somewhere.
That was the oldest line in the book.
But it wasn't a line. Because once again, it was 618 day. So when I seen her, I'm like, man, you look familiar. And I still say it to this day. I tell her, man, I swear I seen you way before we met here in Texas. But it wasn't until later that we actually began to converse and began to socialize. But yeah, it was a physical attraction. Okay. That's just what black women do.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. This is going to get into the second half or the second
part of I'm with the smoke.
My show. So,
without the Philly.
So let me tell you, so you and your girl are dating now.
Yeah.
So Are you guys sexually active?
Yeah.
So what do you feel about, I know that you are not a real religious guy from our conversations before, but
well,
what do you,
I'll clarify that in a second.
Feel about, so what do you think about sex before marriage?
Good question. Okay, I'll say this.
Hold on, wait. Before you even go into that, let me just say this. So yesterday, a friend of mine, it's three of us girls that hang out all the time. I call us the Golden Girls. So we go out and we hang out.
You Betty White,
right? I want to be Blanche Devereaux. Okay. So anyway, exactly. We were out and we were having a conversation about premarital sex. Mm-hmm. So one of my girls, and she is like, really into church and everything, and she was like, the comment that she made is if I die today, I go to hell. And she said the reason why is because she said God, she said that she was like, they speak of it in Revelations all the time. And she said that, it's a difference between asking for forgiveness for a sin that you unknowingly committed and then discover that you committed, but intentionally committing a sin over and over again is God is not going to keep forgiving you for that. Is what you basically, I don't want to quote her word for word, but she was like, it's a difference between unintentional sin and intentional sin. If you go.
What is sin?
Well,
sin is nothing but decreasement. That's all it is. Sin is when you have, let's say, a Christ-like mind and you decide to do something different and you decrease, whether it be materialistically or psychologically. Mm-hmm. It ain't like, some Zeus-looking dude sitting on the cloud gonna shoot a thunderbolt down at you.
Right.
That's religious lore. And there's a difference between religion and spirituality, because religion is nothing but a tool to rely on. Your spirituality comes within, which where all doctrines, all prominent doctrines always lead you. It's going to lead you within. So it ain't so much as knocking a particular religious set, whether it be Christianity, Islam, Wicca, Buddhism, and any other the 34,000 denominations of Christianity. It's not so much about that. All of those doctrines, even the most evil doctrine, is leading you within, because the supreme being really is you. You are a spiritual being experiencing a very worldly experience.
I like that.
The Creator gave you everything you need.
Mm-hmm.
The creation is over with. All the resources, you scramble for the resources because somebody that looks like you control the resources and has a tag over.
Mm-hmm.
But really everything is created for you. So as far as religion, no, I'm not really religious per se. I'm just going to say I'm a Christian, or I'm going to say I'm a Buddhist.
My thing is like when, with me being out dating now, like I run into guys that ask me like, what is my religion, or what, am I a Christian? And I just tell people like, I'm very spiritual. You know what I'm saying?
But then
like,
you got to be careful with that too.
Well, it's like, I'm very passionate when it comes to, they say, you don't talk about religion, you don't talk about politics, and I don't talk about my financial situation.
That's prison protocol right there.
My thing is like, I just feel like I don't, like to know me and to be around me is to know that I do feel like I live my life according to, like, I feel like, to some kind of commandments. If it's hard for me to explain.
It's over 600 commandments.
But it's like I feel like it's wrong to take another person's life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I feel like it's wrong to be mean to people or whatever. Like I have moral, standards that I hold myself to.
Right.
But, I feel like, and I don't want to say that it's right or wrong, but with time, things change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so to have, like, back in the day, women used to have sex for the man. It wasn't for us. It was for the gratification of the man.
I don't know.
But listen,
women like that shit too.
Yeah, I understand, but it was more
they want
so
that thing changed.
But if we did not like it, we still would do it as our womanly duty to our husbands and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So we would get married to someone for the security aspect, as opposed to if the motherfucker has some good dick. You know what I'm saying?
Well, shit, the saga continues.
Yeah, but nowadays, women, it's not I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna marry.
Because I don't marry men for financial reasons all the time.
Yeah, but when, right, but what
it
I'm
supersedes the sex.
Sometimes. But nowadays you have women that are doing just as much as me and making just as much as they have to, and we feel like we don't have to settle for bad sex.
Well, okay, I get that, but see, you placing too much emphasis on the sex because you got to understand the sex ain't gonna always be funky fresh. It's really about how you two are gelling. It's really about how you two are gonna be compatible with each other in the long run. That's why with me and my lady, yeah, we sexually active, but I respected her because she had standards that were congruent and similar to the standards that I set.
Mm-hmm.
So it made it easier for us. So whereas in one previous mind state that I had, you only had a certain amount of time. I was going to be with you and I was gone. But we didn't, me and my lady.
What do you mean?
In other words, you probably had about two, maybe 3 weeks to put out before I was leaving you. Oh man, but with me and the lady that I'm with now, we didn't do anything for maybe almost 4 to 5 months. And I was cool with it. But once again, it was my mind state.
Yeah.
So I ask you this. What's the most powerful thing that's given to man? And I'm going to go ahead and eliminate one of them for you, not the divine expression of love. We know that's one of the most divine expressions out there.
Yeah.
Divine expression of love as well as unity. Because, you know, as scriptures say, if you want to go to scriptures, when two are gathered together, I'm in the midst.
Yes.
You know? But what's one of the most powerful things given to man?
To man?
To man, or just man, woman, and child, anybody. Because you got to remember, a child doesn't have a concept of a God or a supreme being.
Absolutely.
Their mother and father is the God.
Right.
And the goddess.
Absolutely.
At the time. But yet, and still, this child still has this. What is the most powerful thing a man or a woman or a child is given?
I don't know. What is it?
It's perception.
Perception.
Perception is the most powerful thing you have. How you look at society. How you look at anything. If it's chaos way over in that field, if it's chaos in that field going on, but based on everything that's within you now, if you see that chaos is beauty, it's beautiful.
And you know what? And I know
and
this
vice versa.
I don't want to sound ignorant when I say what I'm about to say, but I agree with you totally, because like, just say for instance, like now we are in this day and age where everybody text message everything. And if you read something in a certain voice, you know what I'm saying? Like my girl,
ambiguous.
Yeah, like just say for instance, like my girl, Nikki Sell, you'll see if she comments on anything, she comments in all capital letters. And people always say to her,
that is extreme.
They say that she's screaming.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I can say, like, I can read something in a different tone, or read something that you say, and I'll perceive it in a certain way, and I'll believe that's what you mean. You cannot tell me.
Where does it start?
Yes.
Within.
Yes, absolutely. So I definitely agree with that.
So
I agree with that.
So when my lady came with her standards, and I already had set standards based on where my mind was, I was like, this cool. You know, I'm more into you and trying to see how far this can go outside of the standards that society has created.
So what if she had told you that I don't want to have sex until I got married? At your mind state now, because before you said
I probably would have went along with her. I would at least try. I would at least gave it a chance, because we were enjoying each other without it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We were really functioning on the friendship level because I was very sincere as far as what she had just
Would you have went through? I mean, do you feel like you would have? And I know it's kind of hard for you to answer, because
it's very hard.
Your girl watching now,
right?
Hello, but I understand that. But my thing is,
hey, keep this in mind too. We can't. She's not here to defend herself, but she might break down herself. Look, I want that thing. I need to be swinging off the end of that thing.
So the thing about it is, like you said, something. So if you had met a girl, and I mean, you did meet a woman, and she was like, she did not want to have sex, and she told you that from the beginning, from jump. I don't want to have sex until I'm married, or I've had sex. We're gonna make it more interesting.
Yeah.
I've had sex before you. I was married and everything, but I want to do things differently.
Yeah.
This day one. do you feel like you would have stuck around in a monogamous kind of way? Would you have?
Like I said, I would have gave it a chance.
Yeah.
Just to see how it would work, because maybe who knows where it would have taken me.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, in the previous mindset, no, that wasn't swinging. But
Yeah.
I'm willing to give it a chance because of a different mind state, you know. And like, it's that one crazy. But who knows how she's really feeling? She might give in to me. I might get conditioned to the point of where, you know, we cool and you know, we vibing without the sex. But then she come at me like, nah, I want that.
Right, because the thing about it is with me, like I said, I believe back in the day, sex was taboo for women. We basically like had sex in order to like, you know, to please the man. But now it's something that it's okay for us to enjoy. It's okay for us to be sexual. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you, man. I can't believe that all the way, man, because that thing down there get hot for women too. They gotta have that thing.
I'm not talking about like yesterday or 5 years ago. I'm talking about back in the 20s. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, I believe
been like that since the existence of woman.
Yeah,
well, been wanting that thing.
But my thing is, like today in 2023, I don't think that I could marry a man without having sex with him first. Because honestly, I've never lived with somebody. But I feel like I couldn't live with somebody unless we live.
Your perspective,
yeah,
and your Bobby Brown prerogative. It's just what you want to do, and you have to find the man that's congruent with that. Fortunately for you, based on what you said, a majority of them gonna be down with that anyway, because you know sex don't have a time limit. Now you speaking about common law marriage, you know that's supposed to be the type of marriage or the type of union that doesn't necessarily require the state to be a third party in affairs or the officiating of the marriage. So that's between you, your significant other, and a creator that's higher than you. That's common law. So did the creator, whatever you might want to call him, Yah, Jah, God, Allah, Buddha, Vishnu, you know, whatever you want to go, did the creator say, well, you know, there was some ominous voice like Morgan Freeman that said, you all are not permitted to have sex for at least 3 months. You know,
my sister said, this is why she my sister. She said, I ain't marrying nobody without taking her for a spin around the block. And I know
and
that's
a lot of
right,
people
sister.
feel like that. And you know,
because nowadays, at my age, you meet guys that have health issues. You know what I'm saying? Like they be impotent. You have shit like that going on. I don't think like I could marry a man and then he later become impotent, but I can't marry no impotent man.
So let me ask you this.
I just can't.
Why do you commonly come up against a circumstance where you got two individuals and one say they're not having sex until they married? Why is that?
I don't know. Maybe it's for a man. Maybe his shit is
indoctrination.
Maybe it's little, and he can't lead with that. Because these brothers that got it hanging down to their knee, they be like, "Let me get you in the bedroom. I'm gonna change your whole mind about that."
Well, I used to have that mindset too. Where you know you got a lot of women that'll change their mind.
Yeah.
But anyway, you come up against that because you have those individuals that have been indoctrinated with some religious standard.
Right. Absolutely.
And that places is a parameter or a time on when you actually engage in sex. It's going to be up to the two individuals. If you do that, you can be the biggest Christian, and let's say I can be the biggest Muslim, right?
Mm-hmm.
We do that. We're going to wake up tomorrow like it's just another day. Ain't no omniscient or omnipresent or omniscient or omnipotent individual going to come down and say, y'all had sex.
My sister is married to a Muslim, and my sister she's really big in, you know, has in the church, and her husband is Muslim. You know, it's like, it's different. It's like they see things different. Like, you know, they have a lot of religion conversations and stuff like that. But no, nobody came down and told them that they should not do.
Yeah, it's not. It's some large force. Large unseen force gonna come down and punish you because you had sex before. Hold on, listen. You had sex before you went before an ordained preacher that was ordained by another physical individual that looked just like you.
Right.
And been invested with some divine word and some theological seminary or something that said, you know what, you are worthy enough to go out and join these two in
together,
union, and
right?
you doing this,
right?
They will not be punished for being sacrilegious.
Come on,
or
come
punished
on
for
now.
being sacrilegious
Right.
or blasphemous.
It ain't no way.
You are deemed worthy
Right.
to bring them together. And if they do that outside of you, the next day they wake up that morning, they're gonna wake up dead.
Right.
Because they defied the laws of the Christian
nobody has that
RCC
power.
church. All of that. Look here, man. Everything is about you. That's why it's about total control of everybody's soul. Because when you control all of these individuals, you controlling different planets, you controlling different beings, you controlling different vessels of information and spirituality. You don't control yourself. You don't see anything outside of that control. It's about you. Ultimately, everything is in you. You manifest everything in your life. Am I saying it's nothing higher than us? No. But I'm saying everything has been given to us by something higher than us.
Right.
It's about your belief. It's about your faith.
Because faith without works are dead.
Not only that, faith without works are dead, but it also says that faith, how does it go? And what's the scripture? I'm experiencing. It says, the absence of that which is unseen, the substance of things hoped. Faith is so goes sort of like this. I'm not saying verbatim for the camera, but it's the substance of things hoped for. You know, it's all about what you believe within. You know, and that's how it manifests. And then that's where you go to the faith without actions is dead.
Yes.
You know. But
I just want to say this. I feel like, in this day and time, and I hate to say like in this day and time, you have people that say that they not into premarital sex or whatever. But for me, I am. I don't feel like, sex
90% of us are.
Right. I am. But there is a small percentage of people that believe that they supposed to wait until after marriage. And, like my girl, that's on here right now. She say that, her daughter says her daughter doesn't want to have sex, before she's married.
But she probably just doesn't want to do that regardless of what religious denomination, or whether she just call herself spiritual. She just don't want to do that. She maybe
it does not have anything to do with religion. I mean, the fact that I don't want to wait. I just feel like I have.
No, that thing get hot and you want to go get that.
Right. That's it, right?
Man. Just say what it is, man.
And then
it's your podcast.
If I end up with somebody, I want to know that the shit is good. I want to know that we
so then the sex is so then your relationship is predicated on the sexual activity.
It's a high percentage.
But you got to know that what you experience initially, because you always being represented by the what they call it, you meet the initially when you meet somebody, you meeting the representative.
Yes, hold on. This is my friend. She just commented on here. And yes, you are live, young lady. We are live right now. And she says, Yelena. I always pronounce her name wrong, so please don't kill me. But she says waiting for me is just something that occurs when I'm not sure of someone.
And see, that's a good statement right there. She just don't.
That is. I like that.
Right now.
My cousin said Adam and Eve wasn't married.
But Adam and Eve is a metaphor anyway. So Adam and Eve probably didn't exist, but you have to understand that scriptures is African spiritual story.
Absolutely.
It's designed to teach a moral lesson. But I understand it ain't no diss to them.
My cousin, she also said, she said, yes, I'm gonna have to hit first. She said,
see, that's what she wants. Yes. But I'm telling you,
I gotta hit first too.
See, here's my thing. Okay. And this is why me and the lady that I'm with now was so compatible. Because we didn't determine the value of our relationship off of sex. And I like that because we both know that the sex ain't gonna determine the longevity of our relationship. And it's cool. And in my mind state, I want to get away from that, because if my relationship got to depend on the sex, it's gonna be some times where shit, my dick might not get hard.
Listen,
So
let
that's
me
gonna
tell
be the
you,
problem.
I met a guy. I was in a relationship with a guy,
or she might not be good.
The first time that I had sex with him,
yeah.
we're gonna say this, and then we're gonna get ready to wrap it up because our time is almost up. But the first time I had sex with him, I was laying there in the afterglow while he was going to get the rag, like, never again. I ain't gonna never do this again. It was so horrible.
Oh, I remember.
But I liked his part. It was so crazy because I was like, I'd never have sex with this man again. I was like, this was horrible. It was absolutely horrible.
Don't feel bad.
But then we talked and we started kicking it. And then it was like, I started getting into him and I started being attracted to him. And then it was like when we had sex, it was wonderful. And I remember telling my boys, like, okay, so I would hang out with my guys, and when I told my guys, like, the first time, I was like, the sex is whack as shit, right? Yeah. So then after I started dating him, I told him, I was like, man, you know, we be having sex, it be so good, like, I'm about to go over. And they like, what happened? I'm like, I don't know, something changed. And they was like, it didn't change, you changed. You feeling that dude now. And
it comes from within.
Right? And the thing about it is, what's so crazy about it is that when we broke up, like, I didn't get into another relationship or whatever, so I dipped back over there to have sex with him again, and it was whack again. It was horrible.
So it's a mind state.
It was.
It's perception.
Right.
But,
right.
You know, I mean,
but yeah.
You know, it's for me.
I can work with us being not sexually compatible, but what I can't work with is that your shit don't work at all. I can't work with that.
Well, I understand that's just one of your standards.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
With you know, I'm proud to say this because I functioned in a very degenerate mind state for years, and you know, I'm a walking testimony of be ye transformed by the renewal of your thinking. I look at the lady I'm with so different, and it hasn't been like that for me for years. And I like to think the way that I look at her and myself, it has really helped us as far as longevity, because there were a lot of instances where we both could have just been like, you know what, peace.
Right.
She could have definitely been like, peace for me, but it because of where I was with my mind and me being compatible with her and looking at her more so as a friend, that has helped us.
Yes,
both.
that helps.
Man,
being a friend with your mate. I would never be in a relationship again where we're not friends. Like my last relationship, I don't believe that we were friends. I believe that if we weren't in a relationship, we would not have any, we wouldn't even talk to each other.
And I ain't perfect, and she ain't perfect.
Absolutely.
But it works for us, and we are more subject to not let the bottom fall out on stuff.
On bullshit.
So,
like,
you know, I ain't perfect.
Let me read a couple of the comments and then we're going to have to cut it off, okay? Yeah. So my sister said, who buys a house without going in it first? That's a lifetime purchase, such as a marriage. Yolanda says, everybody doesn't get a turn. My friend who named me the Bald Head Truth FHO says, the real question is, has sex before marriage proven to be more successful than no sex before marriage? I don't think so.
I like that question.
I don't think.
Look, it's all about the two individuals.
Right, it is.
It ain't about what type of job you have. It ain't about how good the sex it is. It ain't about how religious you is. It's about the functionality of the two individuals.
Yes,
because,
absolutely.
Look here, men prove it all the time. Men have a certain salary, and if that girl find, my lady gonna laugh at this. If that lady fine and she work at Whataburger, shoot, she still just fine to him, and he might work it out with him, depending on.
But a woman ain't like that.
Yeah, a woman ain't like that all the time.
A woman ain't like that.
But this new society, you got a whole lot of these women that's taking care of these dudes. I'm talking about, man, straight taking care of these dudes, man.
Is this thing on?
Sitting up on the couch, just chilling, and the gal don't want to lose him.
No.
So she doing everything to take care of him.
Hello.
It take a certain mind state. Everything is a mind state.
Okay.
Everything is
a mind
state.
Hello. This is the Bald Head Truth, and I do not approve that message. I am not taking care of nobody.
But it's what's going on.
I agree. It happens.
Women in our age that's talking about their sons or their daughters. How my daughter taking care of this Negro and he's laying over. Or my son ain't doing nothing, and this girl just taking care of him.
Let me tell you. I'm going to say, let me finish reading these comments. And my cousin said, that is why I have toys. If he's not ready, I will be. My Black says sex is different when it's mental. My sister said,
good one.
Right. My sister says you can't judge the first time. I judge on the second time around.
Yeah.
Yelena says, oh baby, those never again moments are real. It's like, what the fuck did I just do? Yeah. And hey everybody, hey V. She said, hey Toy and guest. She said, first off, head better be included. I know that's right. Look, we ain't got time for no childish games, honey.
I don't mind doing it.
Right. He said,
my lady gonna get that.
Right. So Yelena said, I definitely want to need a man that wants to do what men do, old school ways.
Right.
Yes. So yeah, my girl said, Mark Twain girls don't do that. I know that's right. We don't take care of no man. I be telling, like, what I be, and it's a whole nother topic, but I tell guys all the time, like, I'm not a type of person, like, I have pride. You know what I'm saying? If I ever ask you for anything, that's a very humbling experience for me to have to ask you for something, because I never ask, because I've always had my father, I've always had my family. We are still a village no matter what. My family, well, one is weak, the other is strong, you know what I'm saying, vice versa. But my father raised us to believe that you should not have to ask a man for anything. He says, he said in my mind, your mother always needs something.
Right.
He said, I pour into her as if she's empty.
She's an investment.
And he says, my dad says that the overflow is something that we'll use later on. You know what I'm saying?
Think about this. Here's a hypothetical circumstance. If I'm with you, if I'm taking care of you, I'm taking care of myself.
Yes, absolutely.
And I instill that principle.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to let y'all go. If you in a relationship and this man will watch you struggle, right, you are not in a relationship.
Oh, no.
If you are in a situation, because everybody goes through something sometimes, okay? And if you are in a situation where somebody will sit by and they are living their life and you watching them live their life and they know that you're in a struggle and they do nothing to address it or help. And I'm not telling you got to pay all my bills, but give me a little something that so I can free up some money that I can pay my own bills myself. You know what I'm saying? You
just want to uphold the codes of chivalry and
yes. I'm trying to tell you, my thing is, like, I have been in a situation where I had a bill for like $18,000. And I know that you can't give me $18,000, but give me $20 and say you ain't got to worry about buying your lunch today. Here go $50. Put this in your gas tank. You know what I'm saying? That's what we have to learn. That's not gender based. It's not. But I feel like as a woman, that's a necessity for a man. You got to, if you are in a relationship with a man that will watch you struggle, watch you go through some shit, you might as well be alone, because all he can give you, and this is what my mother used to say, God rest her soul. If a nigga only giving you a wet ass, you don't need him.
Well, don't come home with a dry pussy, a wet pussy in a dry purse. That's all.
Right. Yes. Right. Chivalry is not dead. There are plenty.
Yeah.
Being thoughtful. Oh, my girl, Miss Wayne said that part hit hard. If he's watching you struggle, that is not your man or not your woman. Yes, honey. Yes.
I'm gonna say this, and then I'll be done with it on the cool. We as a people really have to get our stuff together, because unity is a very divine characteristic. It encompasses love. We don't love ourselves. We love everything but ourselves, so we'll never get it together because we're constantly chasing the European lifestyle. So I'm not saying that we can't coexist, but when we steady trying to be like our oppressors, what are they designed to do? They're designed to oppress. So why would you want to align yourself with something that's going to oppress you? It's better to, I say, coexist on your own terms, because we are still a conquered people. So that's why nothing has really changed for us. A lot of us like to throw up status, or we got this type of job, or we doing this, or we got this type of house, or, this is how I'm living and all of that. But you still living under their standards, and you're not self-made. Once you can generate all of those different things and you're not using those systems, then you're self-made. The self-made individual is relying on self and don't have to use the resources. But the resources are for everyone, but you don't control the resources.
Yes.
We suffer from a Stockholm syndrome where we are happy with leftovers because we feel like we didn't even have the leftovers. So the leftovers we get, we appreciative of that. You know, we're just sick as a people because truthfully, hands down, and I can't stress it enough, man, there is absolutely nothing like black men and women.
Yes.
There is absolutely. I'm talking
Absolutely.
about under any circumstance. It don't matter the circumstance we under. We make something from nothing. But what happens
Yes.
is the world comes and capitalize off of it, and then they eventually take it. My partner once said when we was in prison, I said it too. In about, I say about 200 years, if the world is able to function that long, Martin Luther King and Tupac gonna both be white. They steal everything. Think about it. If let's say Yeshua,
Yes.
let's say Yeshua, the Prophet Muhammad, let's say Jesus. All of those individuals have nearly been whitewashed from what they truly were as the first images.
I get you. I get exactly where you're going.
Man, look here, man.
Yes.
I mean, Jesus or Yeshua, we both know because of the climate they existed in, the Prophet Muhammad, you know, we know about, okay, they're the most prominent savior images.
Yes.
You come over 2,000 years after they supposed to exist in the Prophet Muhammad, a little later is what Prophet Muhammad, 600 AD, I believe, on up, something like that. But regardless, you come this many years later, these individuals, which we know nothing but the beauty and the intelligence of black folk, can create something like the scriptures. Nobody else in the world can create something that profound that guides everybody.
Yes.
Because if you look at the nature of the ethnic individuals that's controlling the world, it's very demonic, very warlike. Y'all can't produce nothing like scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
Those are African spiritual doctrines. We laughed about it, but I guarantee you, in about 200 years, individuals that had a prominent image during this time,
yes, gonna be white.
If the Europeans are still in control,
yes,
they're gonna be white.
They're gonna be white.
They're gonna be white.
You absolutely
but,
right.
you know, hey, much love to my baby girl. I'm here to say happy birthday to you.
Yes.
I'm saying happy birthday to you because I didn't get to tell you that myself. Happy birthday to you. I'm your father and love you dearly. So I'm saying it on a public platform. And I'm saying it like this because this becomes a time capsule and something I can reference later on. Daddy loves you. There are a lot of us out here that are actually trying to be daddies to a child that's being parented by a vindictive woman.
All right, message.
There are a lot of us out here
for real
that are trying to do the right thing contrary to what is being dictated in society about us men. A lot of us are fathers or responsible fathers, but our children are being used as chess pieces by individuals that's considered friends of the court, as well as vindictive women. A lot of us black men love our children and want to do for them, but we are hindered by so many forces that protects black women that use their children as pawns. Our children as pawns. So happy birthday, Nakia Brooklyn Bradley, which is what my company is named after. Her name spelled backwards. Aiken, Nakia.
All right, I love it. This was a message. This is a song. This was a whole message. I want to say happy birthday to my boy Big Sale, HNIC FHO. Happy birthday to you. And I just want to thank you for coming on the show, man. Listen, like the comments are saying that your mindset is gold. Like, I really appreciate you coming.
It was first of all, I'm humble, always thankful, and always grateful for circumstances. I know the mind state creates everything. It's not by chance. If I had a diluted, impure mind state, I probably wouldn't get this privilege.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm humble, thankful, and grateful. And it was my privilege to be here. I wish we could have kept going because we could have been chopping it up all day.
So with that being said, that means you have to come back.
Well, you invite me back. I'm coming, as
Absolutely.
long as it don't conflict with our schedule.
Yeah,
you
right.
Know
exactly.
You know
right.
what I work, so
yeah, exactly.
I gotta have time with my ladies, so you know.
Right,
what I mean?
right, absolutely. Well, I want to just thank everybody for tuning in. Before y'all go, make sure that y'all share this show. I would love for y'all to go to Simply the Baldhead Truth on YouTube and share it from there. That would be wonderful. But if you don't have time, it only takes 2 seconds to hit the share button from right here where you're watching it at right now. So just share. Let everybody know. Make sure that they go and subscribe to Simply the Baldhead Truth. All right, on the YouTube channel. All right, y'all. Thank you. This has been another episode of Red Couch Conversations, and I am the Baldhead Truth. Peace out, y'all.